good morning, or I don't know, maybe it's afternoon where you're at. Maybe you're watching from another country. But anyway, welcome to Transformation Tuesday. So happy to have you here. Today is Stylist Appreciation Day, so we want to celebrate you with an awesome promotion at samvia.com. So you can head to samvia.com for 40% off site-wide. Yep, 40%. The entire website. It's on sale. Go to samvia.com. Why not? And if you do love our education and you would like to have the Samvia art team visit you in person at your salon, you can head to samvia.com/education. We have all the details there of the types of classes that you can bring us in for, how to actually book your classes. And hey, hands-on education is awesome. So head to samvia.com/education for that. And if you are a Samvia fan, if you're using the tools, here's a great opportunity for you to make a little extra money. We do have an affiliate program. Again, head to samvia.com for more information on that. You earn a 20% commission on all the sales that use your code. And the great thing is the person that uses your code receives an additional 10% discount. That's on top of the already discounted prices. So for example, today being 40% off, someone uses your affiliate code, they get an additional 10% off with that affiliate code. So pretty cool, right? But hey, you're here for education, not chatter. So let's get started. Jamie DiGrazia is joining us today. Jamie is a Samvia ambassador, Redken artist, owner of Logan Parlor, and founder of Hair Has No Gender. And she's, excuse me, she is an award-winning business owner, a stylist, also an advocate for the LGBTQIA+ community. And like I said, founder of Hair Has No Gender, which offers an inclusive educational business model and gender-free services to share with the pro beauty industry. So let's please welcome the awesome Jamie DiGrazia for some great education.
Thanks, Andrew. It was a great intro. I appreciate it. You know how much I love to be here with Sam and the Samvia tools. 40% off. That's amazing, especially with the extra 10. You know, you could use Hair Has No Gender as the affiliate code for that. Just saying. I know after this program, I'm going to go up there because I need to restock on my razors. So today, I'm going to probably use my last razor. And on Samuel here, our lovely model, he came in with, you know, kind of like this grown out, right out of the pivot point box look. And what I want to do is transform Samuel into this long shag into a shorter, give him some fringe, you know, Hair Has No Gender, Sam can have fringe. And that's what we're going to do today. So we're going to go in with the first shear, also 40% off. That's when I'd be like loading up on shears, right? So these are amazing. These are curved. They're straight blades, but they're curved. They're for slide cutting. So we're going to go in. I have our sectioning here, classic sectioning. If you are familiar, it's the center front to the center back and the high point of the head to the top of the ear, just dividing into those 4 quadrants really quick. Got my dry cutting clips, which I really like because they don't leave those kinks in the hair. So I'm going to go ahead and section this off. We're just going to be working with the front part of the head right now, just the fringe and the side area. And what we're going to end up with is like this fringy, shaggy kind of bob, not necessarily a mullet. I'm going to keep those areas in front of the ear full because this is his first transformation. So maybe at our next appointment, we take that shag and turn it into more of a mullet. So for today, we're just going for a shag. We're going to come in into the fringe and isolate the fringe section. So the easiest way to find that is to come in and comb this entire front quadrant into your hand and kind of give it a blouse. This hair has so much natural texture in there already. That's why I'm going to cut it dry, because I want to see what's going to happen as I cut it. So I'm going to come in and I'm going to grab this whole section. I love these wide tooth combs because there's like no tension, and I don't want tension in this instant. So I love this, this fatty comb for that. So I'm going to push up and I'm going to see where the hair like naturally splits. I'm like, is that a good place? Maybe not. come back, find another. I'm looking for a major change in the direction from the side to the front. And I'm looking for the entire fringe area because he's going to wear it forward. So I'm going to come in. Usually you could grab the corner of the eye, rock up, find a nice vertical section, get the side isolated from the fringe, and do the same thing on the other side. So we're going to come over here. You can use that corner of the eye as reference. You're going to come up and create this nice vertical section and isolate out your fringe. So it'll look something like that. Also here. So we're going to come in. We're going to make sure none of that hair that lives on the side is into the front, because it's just going to want to go back and live on the side, right? And we don't want to force anyone to live in the section they don't want to live in, especially curly hair. So if you go to section something out and it wants to go live the other way, like let it live there. Cut it where it lives. Cut it in its natural falling position. That's usually what I do, you know, to let the hair kind of have its own, we don't want to force anything, right, for the hair. No one wants to deal with that in the morning. So I'm actually going to change these out. I'm going to use my reversible blenders for my first cut. I don't want to see any like straight lines in here, so I'm not going to use any tools that would put any straight lines in here. And during this haircut, I'm going to use multiple tools because like I've been watching Bob Ross lately. I don't know if you guys are into painting, but like he uses a million brushes. And I do the same thing with the haircuts. I'm like, I can't get the same result with the same shear. Like I would be cutting for hours trying to point cut to get the line that I want with a straight blade. So what I just did is I come in, I comb from underneath and I comb from on top. And I have a horizontal finger position, and I'm going to come in with my shear hand, make that peace sign. I'm going to come right underneath it, and I'm going to flip it to vertical, place my comb in my hand, and twist. What I'm looking for is just a twist on this. So the top right corner is on the top left, and the top left is at the top right. So I'm just looking for a twist, and I'm using over direction. So the two corners are being cut into the middle. So when they kick back, when I cut, they'll kick back and swing out into like this beautiful curtain fringe. Okay, ready for it? So I always say measure twice, cut once. So I'm going to come down and I'm going to measure like, okay, the bridge of his nose here. So if I cut to the bridge of the nose, it's going to kick out right there. And I still want all this length to open up on his cheekbones because I think that's going to be super flattering on his face shape. So I'm going to come in again, cut, twist. Grab the comb. Try that a couple times before you do it. Just practice the sectioning. Comb, grab it, flip it, twist it. Now, right to left, left to right. And I'm going to cut a horizontal line. And I know that my over direction is going to give me short to long. So I'm going to move my comb over here to my thumb. And I'm going to come in with the reversible blenders with the teeth pointing down. So the teeth are going to point down, and I'm going to come in. I'm just going to notch this off. And I'm notch, and I'm bouncing like from right to left. Bounce. Come in and watch this. Before I release, I'm going to go ahead and texturize the ends because I know that the ends want to be like soft. Even though this is a hard straight line, it's still diffused because of the soft teeth. I didn't come in with a straight blade. But as I release, I can come in and cut a little bit more from my fingers, diffusing that end even further. So I know that the principles of design is going to give me short in the center and long on the sides. So I'm going to come in to refine. I like to use a little spray wax, or I'm sorry, shine flash. Spray wax is how I would choose to finish this haircut because I like the flexibility of it. And it gives me nice gritty texture. So right now I want to lay the foundation of this haircut. So what I'm going to do next is take the two side pieces and I'm going to elevate them. This is my guide. So right now, all I've done so far is just create the fringe. And I'm just establishing the perimeter right now in the fringe. And I'll go back in and I will layer this fringe to blend in to the two side pieces. So what we're going to do, I'll give you the side view, is come out. We're going to take that same over direction up, 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 elevate, 90 degrees straight out from the head, parallel to the floor, okay? I'm gonna come in and I'm gonna pinch these, the entire fringe into the center, and I have my guide here at the bottom. What I'm gonna do is take off this corner, and what I'm creating is short to long, so it's gonna, when it falls, it's gonna fall short to long, kind of like a mustache. If you cut the mustache all at one length, same thing for the fringe. It's just gonna fall with like less of a like that broomstick, and it's gonna fall with like a nice instead of falling like a big bevel, it's gonna fall like nice and flat to the head. So we're gonna do that for him right now. So we're gonna come in, grab, 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 finger angle. My fingers are on a diagonal, and we're gonna come in, we're just gonna notch this off. Notch, 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 notch. I took off the ends, then I'm gonna come back in, and I'm gonna come in the same way and just notch in a little further. Why? Because in the right now that's hanging like a big section of hair, and it's moving like this. So I want to go into that section of hair and cut some positive and negative space, so the fringe will hang just like with a little bit more air in there. Airy fringe, that's what we're looking for. So I'm gonna come in, I'm gonna style these out because he's like looking in the mirror right now, and I want to make sure that he trusts me for the rest of the haircut. So I want to make sure that these are looking good, and if I need to adjust them, I'm going to do that now. So fringe, fringe, fringe. I actually think we should take these a little shorter. What do you guys think? Shorter? I'm going to do it. All right, so we're going to come in, and instead of taking, I really like where these corners have hit, so I'm going to leave them alone. So I'm only going to grab this midsection, and I'm going to take my shears, my reversible blenders, and I'm going to do that same move where I twist for over direction, and I'm going to have my teeth pointing down because that's the way I want the hair to go down, so might as well cut with it. And I'm going to move them up, you know, like a ½ inch or so. So I'm taking the ends back and forth, wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Then I'm going to go in and take one more cut, and then these are going to become a little bit shorter in the center. Oh, good. Now you can see. And I'm going to do the same layering technique, elevate out, parallel to the floor, notch that corner off, release some of that texture, and then I get the fringe where I want it to be. Cool. Now we can move on. So we're going to go into the sides, and I'm going to change my blade. I'm going to come in with those curved slide cutting shears. Oh, they're so good. See how curved they are? Can you see that? They're so smooth. It's like, it's kind of like the cut I would get using the razor, but without the razor. It's that same smooth, like hot knife through butter. So I'm going to grab some more Shine Flash and spray that because I'm cutting on dry hair, right? So I just want it to be like as moisturized as possible. So I'm going to come in, grab this entire section, which is the entire right side. So I'm grabbing this entire section here, and I'm going to elevate this straight up. So what that looks like, this is my side section. I'm going to elevate straight up, which is also known as 90 degrees vertical. It's parallel to the walls and the windows. So we're going to come in, and then our cutting angle is going to be short to long, right? Because we want short on top, long at the bottom. So we're going to come in, and we're going to have a cutting angle that looks like this, short to long. So this entire haircut, as we go all the way around each section, my fingers are always going to be pointed in. So on this side, that's going to be my finger angle. This side, here's my finger angle. This side, finger angle. This side, finger angle. So what that looks like when you're over directing the hair is you're going to elevate straight up vertical, straight up vertical, straight up vertical, straight up vertical. And what that's going to do is create short to long in a radial section. So let me show you what that looks like. So we'll come in. I'm going to grab this whole side. Remember, 90 degrees. Here's 90 degrees horizontal, but we want to go 90 degrees vertical. So more than likely, let me give you a little spin here. More than likely, I'm going to slide over here so you can see. I'm going to come in vertical, vertical finger angle. Check out what happened. All my length dropped out, but that's cool because I want to save the length, so it's all good. So then we're going to come in and we're going to cut short to long, fingers pointed in, and I'm going to place my comb. And just like slide cutting, instead of with a straight blade, I would cut above my fingers. In this instance, I'm going to cut below. So I'm going to come in and go cut, 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 cut. Nice, smooth section. So now I have a guide, and my guide in the front here connects to my little fringe. The perimeter dropped out, so now I can come to the section behind, which is this back section. So I'll isolate the back here from right from left. And so I'm working in this back right corner. So again, same thing, we're going to blouse to find a minor or major change in direction here. And these are these radial partings, okay? So that's what these are here. I'm working in this section right behind the ear. So I'm going to take the section behind it and just isolate it, get it out of the way so I can stay organized. And this section right behind the ear, I'm going to elevate that straight up, right? Up, 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 comb, comb, comb. So I'm combing from one side of the section and then combing from the other. I'm using the wide teeth, and the wide teeth because I have low tension, okay? So I'm going to give you the front view of this, and just know that in the salon, my body position is parallel with this section. So I'm standing right here, parallel with this guy, okay? So we're going to come up. I'm going to come over. I'm going to grab my section. I'm going to elevate. Now I have a guide in the front right there. I have a guide in the front, and I have a guide from the previous section. So I'm going to start there. I'm going to elevate, and I'm going to come in, cut, cut, cut. Look at my perimeter release itself because it doesn't fit, which is awesome because I don't want to cut the perimeter anyway. So right now what's happening is I'm basically cutting everything above the parietal ridge. Everything else is getting elevated. Anything below the parietal is just dropping itself out because it doesn't want to be cut, and I don't want to cut it, so it works out perfectly. If the hair was longer, I would probably take it and section it out so it wouldn't get cut, right? So next section. So now we're in the back. This is so simple. This is like 8 sections on the above the parietal, and then below the parietal, you know, we might do a little cutting, but not too much, just on the perimeter. So our next section from the center back to that slice behind the ear, we're going to elevate, elevate, elevate. Everything in this nape just drops right out. Look, we can try to take it, but it's not going to fit. So we can try all we want, and we know that it's just going to fall. Okay, watch it fall. There it goes. So I'm going to turn. See it falling? I want it to fall, so that's good. So we're going to come up, and now I have a guide. There's my guide. The guide is from the previous section. We're going to come up, cut below our fingers, and slide. I'm still cutting even though I'm sliding. So I'm going to slide that right out. So right now I'm just laying the foundation. What I'm trying to do is create the silhouette. And my silhouette, I want it to be slim, but I also want it to fall. When it falls, it's going to fall something like, you know, this. So this line here is still very much straight, okay? So it's not going to fall like this or like this. It's still going to be texturized, but it's going to fall with a silhouette that's still very straight, which is cool because I don't really want to like lean him out too much, and I don't want to create anything that's going to be too wide on him. So straight graduation is my pick. So I'm coming in from the center. Now I'm in that section that's right behind the ear, and I'm going to come up, 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 and I'm going to elevate, elevate, elevate. Fingers pointing in. Everything in the nape just dropped out. I have a guide now in front. There's my guide. So I'm going to come in, and I'm going to cut, 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 and release. So next section, we're moving around now to the right side of the head. So now I should be right above the ear. So I'm going to come in. Here's previously uncut hair, and now here's our guide. Okay, so we're coming around, just creating short to long. Here's our next section. Look how long it is. Okay, so we're going to come in and use this entire piece that's from the front of the ear. It's this entire left side, excuse me, and we're going to come up, 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 comb both sides up. I sometimes use the wide teeth, and I get in there and I like paw, getting all the grains of the hair to move. I know that this is going to fall, which is cool because I want it to. I don't want to cut the perimeter right now, but I do want to make sure that I'm elevating to the same point every time, which would be short to long. I'm letting my perimeter fall. So I have a guide now in the back of this section, and I have one across the street to the side. So I know that I'm creating the same short to long shape. Oh, there goes my perimeter, but I'm keeping my elevation. That's amazing. So lots of hair cut off the top of that section there. So now we come in and we have taken some of these layers and give it like a little bit more of a shaggy bit. Cool. He's starting to look kind of rad. So we're going to come in. It just gives them like a little bit more personality. It was flat and it was like kind of weighing him down a little bit. Now he has like this shift. Okay. So we've only done so far is create the silhouette. So now we've had the perimeter just in the fringe. What I want to do now is go in to the side area and really bring together the fringe and that face frame so it really like curtains out for him. Okay, so we're going to come in. What we've done with this section so far was elevate it up, cut, fingers pointing in, and we created short to long layers. So what I want to do next is connect this fringe, all this great kick out. I'm going to take this whole right side section and I'm going to follow that diagonal forward line. And I'm going to elevate, and I'm going to over direct it to the center front of this fringe right here. Because what I want to do is get some of these pieces around his face to open up. So you can see my section is diagonal forward. My finger angle is parallel to the floor. Okay. So I have over direction to the center front, center front, diagonal forward, finger angle, parallel to the floor. And what that's going to create is short to long. Let's see if you could see from here. There we go. I'm cutting that corner off from short to long. And I'm going to just go right in there with these slide cutting shears. You know what I'll do? I'm going to change that out. Watch my gadget arm come back around here. I'm going to notch this off with my texturizing shears. I got at the ABS show last weekend, I picked these babies up. These are the 13 tooth texturizers. So we're going to go right in and we're going to notch all that off and leave it nice and textured. So I could see my guide here, parallel to the floor, finger angle, guide. I'm taking all that off. And I'm going to do the same movement like I did with those texturizing shears, the reversible blenders earlier. And I'm just going to notch this stuff off. Notch. You could stay in one place to remove some length. Stay. But then when I come out, I'm going to release that. Cut it right into the middle of that hair strand. I want to put some positive and negative space in there. So I'll keep cutting until I see it. If it looks like a big chunk, it's going to lay like a big chunk. So we got to get some positive and negative space up in there. So next section. Oh, let's check our work. Oh, gosh, I love the principle of over direction because I just know it's always going to move from short to long. That's why I really love, cause and effect. I just know what I'm going to get every single time. So when I pick up this last section, that's going to be diagonal, over directed, and I'm going to over direct it all the way to the center front. Like, let's see if it even reaches. Okay, so we're going to come in. Here's our center front. Elevate. There's going to be a little bit to cut. My fingers are parallel to the floor. And I'm going to come in, I'm just going to notch that off. None of that needs to be there, right? So cut, 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 cut. This, tons of negative space. Let that baby drop out. The section up here needs some love. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to cut into that last 2 inches of hair and just give it some movement. So we're going to come in. Ooh, that's looking pretty good and shaggy. So we're going to do the same thing on the other side. You ready to see it? Flip her around here. Let me get my bearings because I'm on the other side. So I'm going to come in. What do I say? Diagonal forward and then over direct. This is going to be a nice view. Diagonal forward. And now my cutting is going to switch. I'm going to cut from palm to palm this time because I'm on the other side of the head and this is more comfortable for me. I want my wrists to stay straight and flat and I don't want to be in an awkward position. But what's cool about this is you could see short to long. All this is what I'm going for. All that is what I want to notch off. So I'm going to come in from above, cut, 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 cut. So there's more than one way to get the same angle. As long as you're getting the angle, you can use any tool. You can stand however you want to. As long as you're got some of these ergonomically correct tools from Sam, you should be in good shape. So I'm going to come in again, over direct everything from this side and over direct it where? To the center front, center front, center front, scooping all this hair up with this big fatty comb. I love it for condensed cutting. And then I'm going to come in and I'm going to elevate. And there's that little bit. Let me get so you can see. There's that little bit. Let me do that again. Scoop, scoop, scoop. If it doesn't fit, that's fine. Leave it out. It doesn't need to be cut. So here's our line. There's our line. Elevate. Palm, finger angles parallel to the floor. And I'm going to come in and I'm just going to notch that off. I'm also going to texturize my way right on out of there. These are real smooth too. No hair pulling and just great for cutting positive and negative space. So now we're going to come in, see what we've created, see if he has enough lift. I love these little kickouts. Cut, cut, cut. Oh, yeah. So now moving around to the back, we need to put some texture in here, okay? So I love what we created in the front. Lots of texture, lots of movement. But this back section, there's a lot more hair here in the nape, right? So we have to figure out what to do with it. So one of two things we could do. We could leave it out, which is fine, or we could cut into it. So it just depends on what the hair needs and what your guest needs. So Samuel, we have all this great, I'll give you the silhouette, all this great texture here through the top and the crown and even through the back. But everything underneath that didn't fit, what are we going to do with that? So let's get everything we cut, isolate it out of our way, grab one of those dry cutting clips, and I'm going to take this in 2 sections. How many? Only 2, okay? Don't get crazy trying to cut 15 sections back here. 2's plenty. So we're going to take the right side and we're going to take the left side. So we're going to come up, we're going to do condensed cutting, we're going to use over direction. So we'll have some short to long. We don't want everything to be precise and even, you know, we want it to have movement and flow. So I'm going to come in, I'm going to grab this whole nape section. So there's one choice I need to make. What I want to do is slim out the perimeter. So there's a couple of things we could do. We can use our elevation, which is, we know if we elevate above the horizontal line of 90, that it's going to fall slimmer, okay? So we can do that. Or we can also change our finger angle and come in and cut short to long and collapse it that way. So 2 choices. So I'm going to choose to do both. Oh, what a combination. Because I could do that, right? Why? Because I could see the hair. I see that it needs it. It could use a little scooping and it could use some short to long. So I'm going to do both. So I'm going to come on in and pick up these slide cutters, which are straight but beveled. I love them so much. They're super smooth. So we're going to come in and we're going to elevate, elevate, elevate. Here's 90. Here's scooping graduation. And then I'm going to come in from above and I'm going to use the slide cutters and I'm going to cut short to long and I'm going to release. What I've just created is a scoop here in the back section because I don't want it to bevel out. You know, I'm trying to create like a shaggy textured look and I want some So I'm scooping inside this nape because there's a lot of hair down there for most people, you know, so we got to scoop some of it away. So we'll do the same thing on this nape section. Come in, elevate, 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 using over direction. So I'm in the middle of my section, really similar to how we cut the fringe here. Pop my comb in and adjust my fingers to go from short to long. Your fingers are always pointing to the shortest piece, and I'm going to elevate up and come around, and I'm going to slide cut that out. There goes the perimeter, but I've scooped these layers. So I'll have you, when you take down this back, it's not going to blend, but it doesn't have to. It's okay. It's just visually going to look blended. Okay. It needs to be shaggy, and it needs to have pieces that some are shorter and some are longer. So when this drops down over the top, you'll have a slimmer silhouette in the back, which is cool. So now he's shagging out. The best way to see how shaggy he is, you know, most curly haired people know this trick too. You just flip your hair over and shake it out. One of my favorite moves. So we'll come in, squeeze, give him a little shake, 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 and then see how shaggy he actually is. So we'll come in, shaggy bits. So in through here, too much hair, yeah? I think so. Let's cut some out. So shake your hair. I'm looking in the mirror. I'm like, I think I need to go in and cut some more out of there, okay? So I'm going to go in. I'm not shy or scared. I thought I was finished, but you know what? I'm not. So I'm going to come back, have a seat, cape still on. I'm going to come back in. I'm going to cut some more. So I need more out of this middle section. So silhouette, I want to slim that. So we're going to go in. I love this guy. This is the razor that's just like those texturizing shears, but in razor form. So I'm going to get those same positive and negative space notches with this razor, and it swivels 360 degrees so I can actually come in and scoop out. So what I'm going to do, I like to see a visual of this. So if this is my hair strand, actually, let's do this one because he's kind of got like a wave to it, right? So I'm going to come in with my razor into the wave and carve some of that out. And straight hair, I would do the same thing. I'm still going to come in. We want to take it from being hard to soft, okay? So we're going to come in. I know that the middle of this section is where it needs to be slimmed, okay? When I texturize on the bottom or I diffuse the bottom, I get like blended, diffused looks. When I cut into the middle is where I get that positive and negative space. So we're going to come in, no comb. You don't really need one. I just like to kind of use my hands and read the hair. I'm like, okay, cool. This section is like super bulky, so you can't even see through it. So we're going to come in, cut, cut, cut. And I'm going to come in and I'm going to see the C. So I'm kind of coming in and peeling out. You can see my blades come in and then they turn and then they come out, which is really cool. And you can't do that with a lot of razors, only these ones that swivel. So come in and pull out. Okay, next section. The comb might help us see better. So I'll come in, comb, comb, comb. Come in. See the C? See that C? I'm going to come in and I'm going to follow that C and I'm going to notch, notch, notch. And I'm not going all the way to the end. I don't need to because I know if I cut in the middle, it's going to affect the ends anyway. So I just come in, elevate, 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 check for positive and negative space. I don't see any. So I need to cut some in. So I'm going to come in with my razor and I'm going to come in. I first come in and then I'm pulling out. So I'm making this circle motion. So I come in to the middle of the section and then I release. So same thing, next section. I'm working in those 4 bevels in the back. Come in, pull out, release, release, release. So I'm feeling pretty good about that. You know, the other thing you can do is really grab this entire, I'm all about condensed cutting. So grab this entire crown and have a look. Okay, let's have a look at our entire crown and see where we might want to put some positive and negative space. So what I like to do is come in from underneath, come right into that mid strand, and I'm going to point cut with my texturizing shears. So come in and release. Come in and release. And they just slide right out. It's so nice. So I'm going to come in and release. Now I'm going to check my silhouette. Oh, now that's getting slimmer. Cool. So I'm feeling that. Samuel's feeling his fringe. Chin up, buddy. So we'll come in. And I think for just styling, oh, we should probably trim his ends. I know you don't really want to, but we should. So let's just make that quick. And we're going to come in. I like it, but it does look a little like he needs a ABC treatment or an end trim. So I'm just going to come in with those slide cutters again and just peel away. So I'm coming in and I'm coming in with an open blade, and then I'm cutting my way out. So I'm doing this in a way that's leaving the ends as if they were razored off. So we're going to come in and pinch out. Pinch, 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 pinch. Shake, shake, shake. Next section, condense cutting. As I move around the perimeter and I slide cut, I am always going to be parallel with my sectioning because I don't want over direction. In this instance, I just want to cut the hair where it lives and I want it to be straight. So I come up and over, pinch, 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 pinch. Cut that baby off. Okay? Shake, shake, shake. Check your work. Oh, I want to cut a little bit more. Cut, cut, cut. There's no wrong way. Just a bunch of different right ways to do it, you know? However you feel like this hair needs to come off, go for it. That's why I like using so many tools, because I could like be razoring this off right now, right? I could be taking my texturizing shear and I could be back combing with my texturizing shear to get that off. I could take my razor and pinch some of that away. There's like so many opportunities with these tools, any tools, to be able to create, like I said, Bob Ross, like 10 different paintbrushes for one painting. My short hair sculptures, 10 different tools, you know? I'd be here all day if I had to do this all with a straight blade. So then you can go in and just like detail everything out. Wherever you think you need some positive and negative space, just go ahead and put it right in there. Samuel trusts us, which is so cool because he found us on hairhasnogender.com, which is a cool website that we started for people of the LGBTQ plus community to find service providers that want to create a safe space. So we made some videos with Redken at Don L'Oreal Access. It'll teach you how to create an inclusive environment inside your salon. And then you can go ahead and list your business on hairhasnogender.com. What we're hoping to do is create this list that we can then provide to LGBTQ resources to provide a list of service providers like you and I that they can find. So that way they can find a salon that Samuel's comfortable coming in and saying, I want a fringy shag. And you're going to be like, that's going to look great on you. And the resource is going to bring together, what we want to do is stop gendering, you know, our haircuts, because Samuel might be a man, but this is definitely just a haircut, right? There's no men's cuts. There's no women's cuts. There's just haircuts. And technique, right? There's scissor over comb, there's clipper over comb, there's slide cutting. We just did like 9 different techniques on Samuel. And that's what hair cutting is all about. It's about art. It's not really about gender, right? So go ahead and check out hairhasnogender.com and head over to Sam Via, 40% off, 50% with the code hairhasnogender, which is amazing. And I'll be there joining you, picking up some razors and some of those fatty white combs. So thank you so much.
Awesome. Thank you, Jamie. And this was awesome. And what a cool shape you have created. I thought it was awesome that someone commented that, like, I don't even do hair, but I'm just fascinated with watching this.
Oh, that's awesome.
So thank you so much for joining us this morning. We appreciate you. And as Jamie said, you can say the code one more time for them so they can get the additional 10% off on today.
Yeah, the code is hairhasnogender.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Jamie. We'll see you again soon.
Thanks, Andrew.
All right, and just in case you didn't pick up on what Jamie was putting down, there is a 40% off sale going on right now at samvia.com, Hairstylist Appreciation Day. And if you want to get an additional 10% off, that is part of our affiliate program. So you can sign up for the affiliate program so that you can earn 20% commission when someone uses your affiliate code. Plus, that person gets an additional 10% discount, even on top of our discounted prices. So on top of the 40% off today, you can get an additional 10% when you use that code. And if you enjoy Samvia education, remember, you can bring the Samvia art team into your salons live, and you can head to samvia.com/education for more information on that. Thank you all so much for watching today. We appreciate you, and we'll be back soon for more education.